Okay, third time's the charm. Okay, I know ain't nobody watching this video or ain't nobody watching this live because I don't have any followers at this point in time. This is my first video that I'm doing on Instagram, or it's my first live. Um, and my desire is to build up a following so that um, eventually I'll be able to have live discussions with different people and getting their perspectives on, these different topics that I discuss. So I wanted this in this live, and I don't want to be here too long, but I wanted to talk about a few different things that have happened recently, and I wanted to weigh in on the Monique and D.L. Hughley situation. Um, I don't know why, but I feel like my lipstick just does not look good tonight. I don't know. Like, I feel like it looks sloppy. But anyways, Monique and D.O. Hughley. If I was Monique, I honestly would pay D.O. Hughley or anybody else who had anything to say about my interview dust. Like, I would pay them dust. If I was her and her husband, I would have never got up on any social media platform and responded to D.O. Hughley. D.O. Hughley, while he talking about Monique and saying that she's a hit dog, you're the one responding to. He's the one that responded to her Club Shay Shay interview. So you a hit dog. You a hit lion dog that apparently didn't believe his own daughter when she was telling him about her abuse. That's what the people are saying. So if it were me, I feel like anything that I said on Club Shay Shay would have been the end of it. It's like it's the end of discussion. I said my piece. I said everything that happened and went down, and anybody who wanted to come for me after the fact, it don't matter. Because while he is talking about, trying to down Monique, and honestly, we just gonna keep it all the way real because I heard some other people talk about this. D.O. Hughley does what he did what a lot of black males do whenever they get an opportunity, which is to degrade black women, not just cap on her or talk about her within the realms of them being two comedians who are going at it, but trying to diminish her because of who she is and what she said. Now, at the end of the day, what she said may not have been 100% true, but neither is what he said, I'm sure, and anybody else. Even talking about this concert, or not concert, but this event that they were doing. Um, Monique said she was the headliner. DL claims that he was the headliner. I personally have yet to see either one of them produce any documents that seem to be official. So at this point, it's hearsay. You know, but while he's making moves to go back and forth, apparently Monique has made moves, and now she's a part of Cat Williams' lineup on his tour. So I don't know, Dio. It seemed like to me Monique is winning right now. So I think that whatever you talking about, it really is just kind of helping her to stay relevant, even more relevant than she already is, because that Club Shay Shay interview is getting high numbers, a lot higher than the Usher interview that was that came out just before. Because honestly, no one cares about Usher. No one cares about him or his residency, you know, in LA or in Las Vegas. We don't care. And it's so funny because it's like, it's almost like I'm starting to get the feeling that people literally just, or different celebrities, especially the women, that they just come to his concert just so that they can be caught on video being serenaded. I don't know. It just, to me, I feel like is it a coincidence that he just serenades everyone? I don't know. It's funny. Um, but I did like the Shantae Moore one. That one was fun. But yeah, like, and even like I didn't speak on the Cat Williams one, but everybody who responded to him, as far as I've known, because I haven't went and looked it up, Cat Williams has paid all them people dust, including Kevin Hart and Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer. Um, I'm confused. Let me just say this: when that interview first came out, I was so hyped because I was like, man, we literally got a free comedy show, you know, because not only was he dropping dimes and spilling tea, but he was funny too. And honestly, I really did think, as you know, as low scale funny as Kevin Hart is, as low scale funny, as unfunny, as much of an industry plant as he seems to be, Kevin Hart, I really did think that he was gonna come with like something way harder. I feel like in all of the responses, the best one, and this wasn't really a response, it was more so a reaction. But the best one was Godfrey's reaction, and his impersonation of Steve Harvey was just, I mean, it was good. Godfrey is really good. He's really good. Um, at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. It's the success that really does determine who is the winner. You know, who is more successful. If I was Monique, I really would just continue to focus on whatever project I was doing. And the same for DL or any of these other ones. Cat Williams came and turned it so that he can get these views and get this following because he got this tour and he is completely milking the cow. There's going to be so many people running to his tours, buying those tickets. I went and looked on Eventbrite. I tried to find a location that was close to me. He has something in May that was literally already almost sold out. So you can already see already what people is doing. Already. Like Cat Williams is a very smart man. He is a very intelligent man. Um and this was actually, I wanted to talk about Monique and D.L. Hughley, but honestly, now that that I'm doing it, I'm realizing I really don't have much else to say about them. But let's talk about Cat Williams because I never really did do a proper video talking about them. I've heard rebuttals, right? I've seen a video showing, that Cat stole a joke from the other comedian. I forget his name, but he was the really really hilarious. He was really hilarious. Um, Very goofball comedian from off of the Barbershop 3. He was the one that had all the side gigs and stuff like that. Like he was giving those vaccinations to those dudes who was burnt. Um, Basically, that one that says, you know what, I'm gonna hold on to this check just in case you pull some nigga shit. That one. Um, I love that movie. Honestly, it kind of makes me want to watch the movie right now. Um, the Cat Williams, they were saying that Cat Williams, and I seen the video, the two videos side by side, that Cat Williams had stole his joke, and he definitely did. Um, he definitely took some aspects of it, and he definitely did incorporate that into his own stand up. Here's the thing, though, because people, I feel like people don't really listen very closely when they watch videos. They just kind of they'll hear something, um, but then their mind just kind of like goes on autopilot or something. Cat Williams' issue with Cedric the Entertainer, specifically as far, in regards to the joke, was the fact that not that he used the joke, wasn't that his problem was with the fact that Cedric denied that he stole the joke. And those are two separate things. He said that he got on Club Shay Shay and he said the timelines didn't match up. Cat said, "What you mean the timelines don't match up?" So that was his issue. So, and then I'm hearing other stuff, and obviously this is normal. Whenever someone says something, it has to be a rebuttal. So, because there's two sides to every story. Hazel E comes out saying that Cat Williams was physically abusive to her. The Bulldagger woman who she used to be one of his writers, and she used to work with Cat Williams. I forget her name, but anybody who's in the know, you know who I'm referring to. I was watching somebody's video that showed that 2 or 3 or whatever 5 years ago, the lady had came out and she said that she saw Cat Williams physically abusing uh, his woman or something like that. Here's the thing that I'll say about it. I don't condone physical violence and men putting their hands on women. If he did it, he is completely wrong. In the same breath, though, let's say that Cat Williams, let's say that because he said that he had a virgin booty hole, that he still has his booty hole intact, and he hasn't my bad, he hasn't engaged in the things that other celebrities have in order to get his deals. He claims that Kevin Hart basically, he did something strange for deals and um, whatever. Let's say that Cat Williams is lying, or not even lying. Let's say that Cat Williams engaged in everything that he's claiming that he's not. Let's say that in an alternate reality, let's say that he was there, he engaged in it, he's a part of the Illuminati, he's a Freemason, he was there at all the parties, he was engaging in it, all those things. What lie did he tell about those people? And if he did engage in it, does that mean that because he is talking about other people doing it, does that mean that he's lying? Like, because I feel like it's the same thing that they did with Corinne Steffens. I feel like, they felt like, oh, well, you're nothing but a whore. You were sleeping with the men, so how do you have the right to tell about what they were doing with you? And it's just like, you have the right to tell what you have seen other people do. It doesn't matter if you were in the room or not. Like, somehow, if she was just a bystander that heard through someone else, she would have been more eligible to actually do the book. Wouldn't it have been the person that was actually engaged in the nonsense, wouldn't that be the best person to tell these things? And also too, like, well, because people really came down really hard on Corinne Steffens for exposing different people in Hollywood, different sexcapades that they were engaged in, gay stuff and all this other stuff. Yet, because I feel like black people have such selective outrage. They came down so hard on Corinne Steffens. Jamie Foxx really disrespected the woman when she was on his radio. Um, he disrespected her, and that no good low down Claudia Jordan. She definitely was co-signing the nonsense, even though she literally is in the same situation. Even no matter how much she wants to sit here and say, "Oh, I'm too lazy to be a whore." Girl, bye. You. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. Girl, bye. You and Corinne Steffens are the same person. Please. Like, the same thing with Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks was trying to really be combative and just outright rude to Corinne Steffens. And honestly, I don't understand why would you, let's say you don't agree with a person's book or whatever they did. Why would you invite them to your show and then be rude to them? It doesn't make any sense to me. So, but anyways, the black people have such selective outrage. They want to act like Corinne Steffens is such a joke, but yet they have such a bleeding heart for Cassie, right? Cassie came out and talked about the things that she engaged in willingly with Puffy, and everybody feels so sorry for her. She exposed in her court documents what happened. It wasn't a book, but she exposed in some court documents what she used to do, and everyone feels sorry for her. She's a victim, but yet somehow Corinne Steffens is not looked at as being a victim, but yet Cassie is. What is the difference between those two? The Cassie is a businesswoman. Okay, she said, "I'm willing to deal and put up whatever I need to put up with in order so that I can have this lifestyle." The same thing with Kim Porter, and this is really a separate video, but I mean it's live, so I think that I did just feel like I just wanted to just talk. I wish that I can't wait until I get like a more of a following so that I can, we can talk. Kim Porter and Cassie were Kim Porter was and Cassie is a businesswoman. They are not victims, and they willingly did what they did. It does it really. There's no argument about that. Just like she said, "Okay, give me $30 million," and as soon as she got whatever money she got, they settled. She settled, right? Now she told everything that happened, or most of what happened. Probably wasn't everything that she was doing and that Puffy was doing. So why is she not getting the same animosity that Corinne Steffens got? And they literally did the same thing. But going back to Cat Williams could have engaged in every single thing right along with Kevin Hart. But does that mean that he is lying about what Kevin Hart did? If he was there to see what Kevin Hart was doing, if he's seen Kevin Hart on his knees and now he's telling it because he was there and witnessed it, does that mean that he's necessarily lying? Even if he was there and he also was on his knees, if he says, "Okay, well, I was on my knees too, but I also saw Kevin Hart on his knees," does that mean that he lying? Because I just feel like, what lie did Kevin Hart or did Cat Williams tell? What lie did he tell? Like, you can engage in the same thing and yet still tell the truth about what you saw. I don't understand. Now, he said that him and Ludacris got invited to an Illuminati party, so obviously he was in the mix. Does that mean that he's lying on Ludacris? Like, people act like, you know, coming out and saying that he put his hands on some women, or saying that he also is guilty of stealing a joke, that somehow canceled what he said about these other people who did it. Like that, like he somehow lied about what they were doing. Like the most you could say is that he omitted what he did, but that still doesn't mean that he lied about what these other people did. So, honestly, to me, I just feel like it's telling that nobody really has came out to really just show and prove. You know, to me, I feel like I was really, really expecting Kevin Hart to come with some hard, like, see these pictures. Here I was at the Comedy Store. See these pictures. See this. Here I was. I had this following. See these ticket sales. I sold out these arenas. Instead of this goofy, corny nonsense he had with one of his boyfriends laughing in the background, like this fake laughter that, I mean, it was just so forced. Cat Williams was beat up by a 14-year-old. Like, okay. Yeah, we seen the video. What did it have to do with what he said about you, though? Like, we wanna know, is it true that you already had your deals when you came? Is that true? Or did you work your way up? Because we know that Cat said that he had his own, either his own sitcom or comedy special, I forget. I don't know about that, but I know he definitely was on Soul Plane. He was the main character on Soul Plane. And it was out of nowhere. And I remember when I saw it, I did not know who he was. I didn't know him. I did not know him. And it's so funny because I always say, you know, he was supposed to be the main character, but really it was Terry Crews that was really the funniest one. If I'm really being honest about my true feelings. Kevin Hart was kind of like an afterthought, in my opinion, in his own movie. So, but anyways, let's move on to the next thing I want to talk about. Keith Lee and the situation with Sweetly Seasoned or whatever. I'm gonna say what really stuck out to me, y'all. Okay, y'all did. Was anybody else really kind of like taken aback? I'll say that. Was anybody else really taken aback by how sugary the woman's son was? Like, I'm not familiar with him. I had never heard about him before this Keith Lee situation. And his video response to the mess, it was just so unexpected. You know, like when I seen him, some clips of him at the actual truck, the place where the food truck was. I just didn't get that. So when I seen his video and he came out and he was just so animated and just so sissified, I mean, like, it was just. I don't know. I was just taken aback. Honestly, I feel like you would have got more. I don't know. I feel like just be animated, because I feel like, honey, that $4,000 that y'all stole from Keith Lee, honey, that ain't gonna last you but a month or two, my dear. Honey, these rent prices is high, the mortgages is high, food is high. That ain't, and gas is high. That $4,000 ain't gonna last you too long. So, you better get up on there and start doing some. Just get into comedy, because he definitely was funny to me. Like it was just like, I mean, I just wasn't expecting that. You know, like I felt like I was watching some kind of lost footage from Noah's Ark. I mean, and anybody who know Noah's Ark know what I mean when I say Noah's Ark. Um, okay, but here's my thoughts on it. Keith Lee says that I felt like Keith Lee should have just gave them people cash. He should have gave $1,000 to the braider and $1,000 to the barber. Period. End of story. And gave 2,000 to this low down chick. I don't even want to go there. It's so many different names I could call her, but I'm not gonna go there. She is a low down, trifling hood rat, and she gets whatever bad comes her way, she deserves. I'll say that. Just a low down, trifling piece of trash. I'm gonna get to her, but let me just say this. Keith Lee should have gave them cash. Now he says that for the safety of me and my family, I don't carry cash. That's cool. That's fine. But he could have went after, coming to the resolve that, okay, I want to give them a big tip. He could have easily went to the ATM or had somebody bring the money to him and gave them the money. My thing of it is, on top of that, if you're so famous to where people if your opinion matters so much to where you can make or break a restaurant at this point, you need to be traveling with you need to be traveling with security, because obviously you have some influence, so you should have security at this point. I don't understand why still walk around the same way when you are so well known. Because I honestly, when I look at him, I honestly don't really get it. I feel like I see a lot more interesting, entertaining food tasters on YouTube that are way more entertaining and charismatic than Keith Lee. I don't know how he just got the steam, but I don't know. It is what it is. He should care. He should come with security. End of story. Because of him not giving them the cash, it's helped to create this nonsense. Now let's get to Miss Sweetley's season. The only thing she kept saying is that they weren't with those two, the barber and the hair braider, were not with me. And I don't know. I don't personally know them. Those were my son's friends. Well, if those are your son's friends, you can't do right by them. And the girl, she came out to help you for that day. It doesn't matter that she, a part of her temptation in coming there was that she wanted to see Keith Lee. And also, the barber giving the free haircuts was not necessarily mean that, oh, he's helping you out, because she gonna fix her crusty lips and say, if he had been giving the haircuts for free, then he would have been helping me out. How was that when you wasn't selling the food for free? I mean, you acting like you don't understand how advertisements work. Like, I mean, he was advertising, he was bringing attention to the business through his haircuts. Like, you go to any marketplace right now, any flea market, is anybody there selling or giving stuff away, or are they not selling? Like, her like it's so funny how most people's logic, I'll say most people's logic it's just so backwards and selfish and self-centered. But instead of reevaluating, they just will continue on in the nonsense. even when they see what they're doing is not right. I don't know them. They just was coming for Keith Lee. Well, you certainly were happy to see him. And from what I hear, it wasn't them that even called Keith Lee. It was your son that got him to come. So what? So, but you know, um, it's just crazy. Like when you deal with people, most people are so undeserving and just so terrible. They just really are really undeserving and really terrible. And I can tell you this, I really am glad that the people involved were really vigilant in making sure they exposed her for the liar and the scammer that she really is. And I'm glad, here's another thing I'm glad for. I'm glad that her and her son came on there to respond, because it made them look even worse. And everybody was able to see her retarded rationale and the reason why she didn't give those people the money. Now, I heard that because of all the backlash that they're getting, that they actually tried to give the sister, the hair braider or whatever, some money, and she didn't want it. Well, she said from the very beginning that she didn't want the money. First and foremost, she admitted that it was the son that had Keith Lee come there. She admitted that she did not work for Sweetly Season, that she was just there helping out for that day. So she never tried to take credit. I felt like the Sweetly Season, whatever, the owner, she was trying to make it seem like the girl was trying to act like she worked there. Like, if you listen to her video, her initial video, she makes it very clear. I don't work for Sweetly Season. I was just helping her out that day. So it was no reason why she would need to reiterate that. No one is trying to say that they were a part of your business. So, um, you know, I hope that nobody really supports Sweetly Season, and I hope that they get shut down indefinitely. I really do, because that kind of behavior is so prevalent nowadays, and it doesn't get shamed enough. And if people start getting shamed more for doing bad things, they would stop doing them and stop being so brazen and so cavalier when in doing it and while they're doing it. Um, just a mess, just a mess. It's embarrassing. Um, it's not a good look. Um, I was listening to Lovely T, and she was saying that people were saying, "Oh, we shouldn't support black business," but that's ludicrous, because these are the same people who talk about they're mad because they get racially profiled in Macy's. So I mean, like, which is it? Um, Makes no sense. Raggedy people are raggedy people, and you can find anything. So um, you can find good in everything. So um, in everybody. So, but yeah, I really didn't like that. I really didn't like that. I don't like the the conniving nature that most people have. I really don't like it. Um, it just people just having just a wicked spirit. Like earlier today, I had went to the store to get some wine, and the cashier, it's like she just had a really nasty attitude, but it was like for absolutely no reason at all. I came up, and I asked her if she could check one of the bottles to make sure it was $4.99. Um, Child, honey, and if you don't know about the hookup grocery outlet, has some very nice wine for cheap prices. Okay, because wine can get very expensive, and I do not like paying a lot of money for good wine. And even though it's $4.99, it's not like cheap wine. Like cheap wine is like Barefoot, Sutter Home. It's not Sutter Home. It's like it's what they do is you have vineyards that will sell their wine to they'll outsource to different stores, and that's how you can get those good wines at cheaper prices. But so I asked her if she could check or whatever, just make sure that the wine bottle was $4.99, and because I got two different brands. And so she checked or whatever, and she told me it was $4.99, and she went, your age, your age. And when she said that, I thought that she was thinking that I had a membership with Grocery Outlet, because a lot of times like they'll ask you, like if you're a member, because they'll take the points that you get from the purchase and add it to your account. So I thought that's what she was doing. So I told her, I said I'm not signed on. I'm not signed on, and it's like that seemed to. It's like that's when I just really noticed that she had the attitude, because after I said I'm not signed on, she goes, "I need your age. I need your age." And so I realized then that she was that she wanted my ID. And so I just but it was like, why say it with an attitude? Like, what is your problem? Like, this is about 10 o'clock in the morning, like 10 a.m. I'm like, my goodness, like, this is how early we start with the nonsense. So, but anyways, so I gave her my ID, and she was like, okay, it's $4.99 for this one, right? It's because she was trying to just charge me for one. So I told her I got 6 bottles, right, in total. I said I want all of them, and she was like, okay, okay, something. I thought something. I told her I can't remember um, exactly how it led there, but I remember she said, "Oh, something," and then I told her, I said, I thought that you were thinking that I was a member and you wanted to apply the points to my account. That's why I said I'm not signed on." And so she said something snarky like, "Oh no, I just need your ID. It's had nothing to do with an account or whatever." So, anyways, I seen she was on one, so I didn't say anything. Um, and she just was really just unpleasant, just an attitude for no reason. And then, like, when after I paid for it, she sat the receipt down rather than handed to me, and it was just like, really, like, honestly, I see why people be like, that's why I don't like leaving the house, because I don't like dealing with this nonsense. I really am the same way. I really, if I can avoid it, I just don't like going shopping and stuff like that, because you always have to deal with people and their attitudes, and I get sick of it sometimes. I really do. But going back to the Sweetly season, like, I see this same mentality in people where they have a bad attitude and they're ungrateful. You know, it's like the cashier, and it's just like a cultural, I don't give a fuck attitude, and I see it, and I don't like it. So I'm glad that in the situation with Sweetly season, I really am glad that her bad conduct and bad attitude, that the girl exposed it rather than just letting it go and moving on. Because I probably would have just moved on or whatever, just whatever. I probably wouldn't even have posted it, but I'm glad that she did, because people would have kept going and supporting her, not realizing what she is all about. And so now we know about it, and I really am glad. I really am just so glad. Oh my goodness. Okay, I really have to talk about this girl at the Walmart. The one that had her baby in the sitting in the basket with no clothes on. Y'all, that little boy was so desensitized to her abuse that he didn't even flinch. Like, he didn't even flinch when she threw that bag of frozen vegetables on his legs. I mean, it's just like, girl, the people already at you about this trifling nonsense you got, showing up to the store with this baby with no clothes out, and you got the nerve to sit and throw this. She did that on purpose. She was trying to be cute, and like it's like I said, people, it's there's just a cultural I don't give a fuck attitude that people walk around in, and they're very troublesome. And that's why I like to avoid a lot of situations, because I know if I get angry, I don't think rationally when I get angry. So that's why now I try to stay calm. Because people in this day and age will take you there because they walk around, they'll do something rude, and then when you confront them, instead of showing some type of remorse or pulling back, they'll continue to keep coming forward and standing on the offense. Like, they'll do something that's offensive and then stand in the offense, which is why there's so many fights that goes on, because these people these days, they will make you fight them. They really would. That's why, like I said, I don't go there. I don't go there because I already know I have too much to lose, and I know what I'm capable of. So, but she did that mess on purpose, honey. But I was just tripping off at how the little boy, he was looking at, like, when that man was on her behind, and she threw those vegetables on him. He gonna say, "Tama, what are you doing? What are you throwing that on that baby?" But the little boy was just looking up at him like, it was almost like he was a bystander looking at his own situation. That's it. He just seemed so detached from the situation, like, and he looked down at the and I know it was cold because his legs were already bare, and she just then threw this bag of big old bag of vegetables or whatever it was on his legs, and he kind of looked down at whatever it was. That poor child was so used to her abuse and her maniacal nature. He was completely desensitive. Like, you can tell that when he get older, either one or two things gonna happen. Either he gonna leave her alone completely, or he gonna be whooping her behind. You would just tell what when he get older, she ain't gonna be able to tell him nothing, because he know all what she put him through his whole life. So she starts twerking. sometimes I just don't understand this. I don't understand this. This here. She starts twerking. Then a kind lady, she buys some clothes for the son. She's putting the clothes on the little boy. She's standing there on her phone. It's like, my goodness. And then thankfully, Miss Twerker, she looked like a fool at the end because the police ended up arresting her behind, and rightfully so, and taking and snatching them kids from her, and rightfully so. See, her problem was, and then you can tell. Let me just say, you can tell that she anticipated it happening because she gonna tell the man. She gonna say, because he said something about calling the police or whatever. She was like, "Oh no, they can't do nothing as long as you got a fire extinguisher, and you got running water." So I kind of felt like from that statement, she's done this before. Either she's done it before, or she kind of had already had it mapped out in her mind. What kind of abuse can I give out to where I can still abuse these kids, but yet not get in trouble for it? How far can I go without getting in trouble? Now that's a maniacal mind. As long as you, my bad. As long as you have a fire extinguisher and you have running water and you have heat, some kind of heat source. I'm like, okay. I'm like, so you've been thinking about this? Because who in the world thinks about losing a, like what are the necessary needs that you need to be filled in order not to lose your kids? Who was thinking about losing their kids? Who thinking about that? The response should have been, ain't nobody taking my kids because I'm a good mother. Right? This bra sat up here and twerked. Now, instead of grabbing that kid, leaving all them items in that basket and leaving up out of there, because of her pride and her arrogance, she stayed and was twerking, and got carted off to jail. Now I felt like I was saying, girl, the least you can do is at least pretend to be remorseful. If you ain't really remorseful, the least you can do is pretend to be remorseful. I mean, my goodness, like, you don't even know how to get away with it. Like, you acting so stupid. She, my thing is, she was smart. She would have grabbed that boy and just left about it. There, like, as soon as the people was coming down on me, and I got somebody filming me, child, I would have grabbed that boy and got up out of there. I would have got up out of there. And then she gonna have the nerve to get combative with the man. Honestly, I feel like, honey, I must be a punk or something, because I just don't have that mind to get up in a man's face. I don't do stuff like that. Cause these chicks, they be on some next level stuff, child. Like, they really be trying to confront dudes. And it's just so crazy to me. I'm like, I mean, I get that, getting socked or whatever is not the end all be all. You ain't gonna die necessarily from getting socked by a man, but somebody put their hands on me, girl, it ain't gonna turn out right. It ain't gonna end good. So I don't do it. And not just that, I don't get in men's faces. She gonna get combative with this man knowing that she was wrong. And I'm so glad. Now, Walmart, they fired a lady. You know, these are like one of those times when I just wish that I didn't have to go to any of these other places to get the essentials that I need. You know, like this is one of those times when I just really wish that I didn't have to do that, you know, in order to get my essentials. I wish that I didn't even have to go over there because there, you know, it's like she was the lady was doing a good thing. It's no reason why they should have done that to her. Like it's no reason why. You know, I feel like they just they was being dirty, but Walmart is a dirty business. You know, just like some years ago, um, you know, like some people brought like a class action lawsuit against them for the pay disparities, the pay disparities um, between men and women, and you know, they ended up winning, I think. And I'm like, ugh, I don't know why, but even so, I'm glad that she took a stand and she made sure that the chick got in trouble. Um, and now she's crying on social media about, you know, the fact that the Walmart worker that she has a GoFundMe, and she wants some money. It's like, even if you do start a GoFundMe, what are you gonna use it for? Like, we giving you money so that you can just use it on yourself, or just trick it off or whatever you're doing, because you certainly not gonna use it for the kids. Honestly, the only thing that really anybody needs to be doing is keeping her away from them kids and trying to find out where where that white dude is that got her pregnant. Where is this white man, honey, that got her pregnant? Where is he? Where he at, honey? Child, this is not slavery where you get to just sit up here and make these mixed up babies and not take care of them. Where is this white man at? I just got. It was so funny. Like we know that there's a obviously a long standing documented history about black men doing it, but honey, these are white dudes, child. A lot of them just don't be there for their kids either, child. Um, girl, like especially these little swirly situations. Shit, it's like they be paying them bras with dust, honey, and they be doing Clark Kent moves on them chicks, honey. Now you see me, now you don't, girl. So, but it's crazy. What else was it that I want to talk about? Is there something else? Can't think. Anyways, I'm going in this live here, um, and I'll be back with more content.